Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about reverse culture shock, which is like culture shock but takes place in your own country. So stay tuned. Okay, so we all know what it's like to be in between something, whether it's in between jobs, in between relationships, in between homes, but try being in between continents, because I'm telling you now, it is trippy. It is like being descended from outer space into a foreign land. Because you've spent so much time in one area that you forget what it's like to be in your home country. It's like extreme sensory overload. First of all, hearing English so much for the first time in many months is just overwhelming in general, because you're trying to like listen for everything, and at this point you know the language, so you're not having to translate anything, and just that is overwhelming. But it's like everything in America is so much bigger. The people are bigger, the buildings are bigger, the streets are bigger, and you're just like in a completely strange land. I'm just stuck on freaking repeat mode right now, just always talking about the differences between Asia versus America and this and that, but it's because your brain is just processing everything that you're going through, and it's just like you don't even know how to deal. Even like being in a car is just so strange, such a strange concept. I've been home for 3 weeks and I haven't driven at all because I'm kind of scared. But another things that I'm scared of are just like going anywhere. I mean, it took me forever just to go to the gym. I haven't even been to a friend's house yet because I'm just still trying to process everything. I don't know what's going on there. Another thing about reverse culture shock is just the fact that you basically set up your whole life somewhere else, and then that life had to come to an end. And yes, you can keep in touch with everybody, but it's like a lot of times when people go abroad, they find themselves, they come into their own. I know I definitely came into my own, and I had close friends. I was even in a relationship, which can happen if you're lucky. And yeah, each of those things just kind of, that chapter essentially had to close. So coming home, it was really devastating. And I mean, not to be super depressing, but your body surprisingly has an amazing way of kind of like shutting down or like numbing you. It's like you're really sad, but you're not constantly expressing emotions. Like you're not like constantly crying or anything, but it definitely takes a toll on you emotionally and internally. I like didn't know who to talk to or what to do, because the people that I used to talk to now are in a completely different time zone than me, and to catch up with someone is like, for example, so Asia is 12 hours apart, essentially, depending on where you are, but let's just say 12 hours apart. So when I'm getting up at 9 a.m. to contact, or let's just say lunchtime, when I'm getting up at 12 p.m. to contact my friend during my lunchtime, that's midnight for them in Asia. So staying in touch is really hard. And just in general, I mean, I came from a completely different world. My brain is full of so many different elements of every single day, and now that I'm here, I'm like, who do I tell? I mean, who even understands what I'm talking about? Like, for the most part, they understand what I'm saying, but it's just everyone that's gone abroad knows that you literally just have to be there. It's just, you just can't put it into words. It's such an amazing thing, and that I want everybody to do and to experience, because it really is great, but it really is hard. I mean, it does hurt. Like, in the words of Anthony Bourdain, it does hurt. Anytime you're going through a magnificent change, it's sad because you have to let go. Like, letting go is really hard. And I mean, I've talked about it in my first video, which I'll link up here. Anytime you're trying to make a change, you can feel it, you know it's gonna happen, but it never is easy, and that includes leaving the country that you were visiting. But I do believe that the people that I crossed paths with, like, I know they changed my life for sure. My perspective is so much greater than it ever was, and I know that I changed the people that I became friends with and close with. So it is still so worth it. But reverse culture shock is just something that they don't prepare you for, that you have to go through, but it's still totally worth it. So anyways, I would love to know what you all have experienced, if you all have done reverse culture shock before. And if you haven't, if you have any questions, of course, I can answer any of my tips for overcoming reverse culture shock. I had to think about that one for a while. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will definitely see you next week.